Do you want to know what everybody asks me? The first question is almost always about what should I do between the time I graduate and the time I actually start my first year undergrad? So I'm going to tell you what I did and what my experience was, and I'm going to then recommend like a few ways forward. So in my case, I remember the first time I asked my parents what I should do, mom was just like, Naman, you should go contact a senior, find out what their syllabus was, and just start reading. Start reading. This is what winners do. It is a good strategy. And while I agree with the merit of what she's saying, I actually went ahead and watched Game of Thrones for the first time, and I finished like 7 seasons across 2 months, which was wonderful, by the way. But no, the entire reason why I sort of disagreed with that logic was because part of the reasons professors assign particular readings for particular weeks is so A, you can talk about it together, you can break it down and break down other meanings which you might possibly have missed if you read it alone. And secondly, because you always look at these arguments, you always look at these larger points in perspective or in context of either opposing arguments or complementary arguments. And that's something you can't just pick up by reading on your own. Or at least, sure, it's a good thing, but you're going to have to reread it. So if you were to really think about it, you're kind of wasting your time. Anywho, if I were to suggest one thing for absolutely everybody, it would be to please just chill. Relax for these 2 months or relax for however much time you have. Your exams literally just ended, and you're going to have who knows what your next summer or your next winter vacations are going to be filled with. Either you're going to have internships, or you're going to have some sort of practical study, or you're going to be doing something or the other in that time. This is your one opportunity to prevent burnout. And literally, from the majority of people I've heard, like, or at least from my peers back then, who actually either did something during that time or did not relax, was A, they either did it so that way they just felt productive or felt that, all right, my time is being used for something remotely useful. Or the second thing was they ended up burnt out. They literally felt like we've been hustling from the moment we graduated. Ever since like 10th, we haven't had a moment to really breathe or a moment to savor the time you already have. And they ended up doing the same things we did. It's not like these 2 months changed anything, really. So that's what I would normally recommend. Now, there might be some of you who said, okay, yeah, I've had my fun and I actually do want to work on something or the other. I would encourage you to just be thoughtful about whatever it is. I wouldn't say mindlessly throw yourself into books or throw yourself into courses. I would sort of map out, all right, one thing I really like was the Stanford Odyssey plan. So if you to take up, for example, what is the current life path? What does success mean for you in the next 2 to 5 years? Can you imagine alternate life path? Something you'd be equally happy with, but completely different from what your current goal is. And the third one was, if you had no limits, if you had all the money, all the time, everything in the world, what would you really want to do? That's something I would just keep at the back of my head, and it would just keep you in good stead. So there you have it. That would be like my one piece of advice, what actually happened for me. And please, if you do get an opportunity to chill, just do it. Hands down, you're not going to regret it. Yeah?